noticed that there were, and the party as well, Adron and Quirk noticed that there was some firefighting happening between the two vessels. And once you guys got closer, you realized that one was a mercenary vessel, the Raven's Tooth, and the other vessel was a Thayan vessel. And there was fire exchange happening between them. Basley then said, "We're attacking the Thayans." Adron agreed with him pretty staunchly, and the party and the Raven's Tooth continued attacking. Eventually, the pirate vessel was sunk. The Thayan pirate vessel was sunk. And Taliri, the captain of the Raven's Tooth, had called for a rope to her ship to get back across. And that was where we left off for the evening. So, let us begin episode 24 of Desert Winds.
Well, Adron is going to start this adventure off by swimming back to the ship once he makes sure all the Thayans that made it into the water are dead.
Okay. You notice from the deck of the Raven's Tooth that several of the deckhands and other crew members have actually pulled pistols, and they're firing into the water at Thayans that are trying to survive.
Okay, so from various physics experiments that I've done myself, I know that after about 1.5 to 2 inches of water, muskets and that sort of thing are no longer lethal. So, staying below that, Adron is going to go down, grab the legs of the Thayans, drag them underwater, and slit their throats.
Okay. Taliri, at this point, has grabbed onto the rope, and she's pulled herself over to the Raven's Tooth, and once she gets there, there's basically a ladder built into the side of the ship, and she climbs up that, completely sopping wet, but she claps a woman on the shoulder, bright red hair, red leathers, white shirt. "Well, looks like we did it, Sorsha. Those bastards never knew what hit them."
Of course, Captain.
Aye. Now, what do you say we invite those that helped us aboard?
As long as they can pull their share.
I'm sure they can. And,
Me then.
Taliri signals to one of the crewmen up in the nest, and he starts ringing a bell. And he yells across to Fazli, "Hey, why don't you join us over here?" Fazli hears the call, and once again his crew begin getting ready for the boarding hooks and the planks and everything. And you guys are making ready to board. Adron, you get a rope tossed down to you as well, from Fazli's ship.
Oh, no! Looking around, not seeing any further Thayans to kill, and slightly disappointed because of such, I climb my way back onto the ship.
Do I know if I saw him slitting all these throats?
You can make a perception check.
Let's assume that I'm perception checking.
You have dark vision?
Nope.
Okay.
Good luck seeing through the water.
I got it. Don't worry.
Yeah,
It's
Seeing-
actually at disadvantage, though.
Dang
because
it.
it's dark.
Dang
A-
it.
and it's
I believe.
through water. Like,
I believe. I did believe.
You saw
Nope.
nothing.
I see nothing. Great. Okay.
Nothing, Leonis. So, go ahead.
Quirk
Quirk.
is going to be calmly looting the body while the ship is sinking.
It's sinking at a pretty quick rate.
Now, he's near the back of the ship, which is usually actually the tallest deck, and there's usually nothing overhead, right?
The entire midsection has been blown out to a fireball and powder stores being set off, as well as the Raven's Tooth firing several more cannon shots towards the end. So, I mean, this ship is... It's akin to a piece of Swiss cheese.
Okay.
There's not much left of it at this point, so it is sinking very rapidly.
Do I have any time to be able to that body? Because I'm not really concerned about particularly being far away from it, because just before it goes under, I'm just gonna hit the air. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you would have a little bit of time to loot the body.
Yeah,
And I'll get with you. I'll get with you about what you find in a moment here.
Okay.
So probably 15 minutes later. Is anybody else doing anything during this time?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Leonis is just gonna call out to Quirk. Quirk, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. No issues.
Okay.
So about 15 minutes later, the crews pull their ships side by side, and both ships weigh anchor. I'm sorry, they drop anchor. And Fazli goes and greets Taliri, and she smiles at him. Well, hello there, friend. Thank you for the help. Not sure that we would have been able to get out of that if it hadn't been for you. Well, actually, she looks at Sorsha and goes, we would have done it, wouldn't we?
One way or another.
And she looks back to Fazli, but we appreciate your help nonetheless. Now, I believe, Sorsha, now that all of that is taken care of, we had a birthday on the ship, didn't we?
Oh, aye, Captain. Matey Lauren, I believe.
Ah, Matey Lauren. Matey Lauren, step forward, you wench. Come on. And stepping forward, a human woman with shoulder length, dark brown hair, steps forward. She's wearing a teal bandana, tied tightly around her head, and with she's wearing a corset over her leather armor. And Taliri steps forward and puts her right hand on Lauren's left shoulder and says, you haven't been a member of me crew for very long, but that doesn't mean that we don't still care about you. And today, on your birthday, I have some wishes for you. I wish you not a path devoid of clouds, nor a life on a bed of roses. Not that you might never need regret, nor that you should never feel pain. No, that is not my wish for you. My wish for you is that you might be brave in times of trial, when others lay crosses upon your shoulders, when mountains must be climbed and chasms are to be crossed, when hope scarce can shine through, that every gift soon gave you might grow along with you, and let you give the gift of joy to all who care about you, that you may always have a friend who is worth that name, whom you can trust, and who help you in times of sadness, who will defy the storms of daily life at your side, One more wish I have for you. That in every hour of joy and pain, may you feel soon close to you. That is my wish for you, and for all who care for you. This is my hope for you, now and forever. 3 cheers for Lauren! Hip hip, hooray!
Hooray!
Hip hip,
Hooray!
hip hip, hooray!
Hooray!
And right about this time, the crew of the Raven's Tooth starts playing an upbeat elven jig. And Teleri grabs Lauren's hand and begins dancing around the deck with her. And throughout the dance, several of the crew members of the Raven's Tooth, pass Lauren off, and she dances with everybody on the crew by the time that the song is over.
Adron is sitting on the railing, just watching it all.
Okay,
What boat are we currently on?
Raven's Tooth.
Okay. I'm just probably against the railing. I'm not really feeling. After that fight, I'm more thinking of all the lives lost and how it didn't need to be this way. I'm just kind of up against the wall, sitting there.
Quirk is going to go over to Adron.
Da.
Adron.
Da.
So I totally trust you, and that's why I just did as you said. But I think we need to talk, because I need to know why we just did that.
To put it bluntly, the Saiyan Empire is as oppressive and evil an empire as can exist in the prime material plane. They seek only the destruction and subjugation of all other countries and kingdoms, and wherever they go they spread sorrow and evil. The order of monks that I am a part of, our very existence is to keep their darkness within their own country. It is not something I necessarily enjoy, but it is a necessity in order for life to continue.
Okay, so... Okay. You ever give them a chance to try to come around to a better way of life?
Those that are the mages within, say, the ones that were in charge upon a ship like this, those we have not been able to convert, for lack of a better term. The crew possibly could have been saved, however, after seeing the attack, Saiyans do not surrender once a battle has been joined. The crew could have been convinced had the mages not gotten their magics within them, but once the battle started, there was no saving them.
Okay. So when they're ships of war, then that's it. I totally understand that. You make efforts to try to help the people that are in their homeland. I mean, I get that you can't let them come out and attack other people, but
Indeed, we do not. You have seen the skills with which I work. I stick to the shadows. I try to manipulate situations. In that is our way. We try to keep the leadership, the ones that are driving the evil, focused on each other and on themselves, so that the common people, the good people, may live not if not happy lives, at least a little better. We do offer sanctuary when we can. We do offer to improve life where we can. The this the Empire of Thay is run by corrupted wizards that believe themselves to be gods. And it is those that we focus our efforts on as far as destruction. If we can remove the cancer within Thay, then perhaps one day it will be a good and decent place.
okay. Um, so this is starting to make some other things make a bit more sense too. Um, you know if Ariadne knows about these people?
Within this plane, it is fairly common knowledge. However, with Ariadne, I do not believe it is as focused for her as it is for me.
Okay, because some of the things that she says, I don't get they apply to me, but I could see that people like this might have her thinking stuff like that.
And that is why I am perhaps a little more patient with her than you are when it comes to that particular subject. Thay is very much a an example of what her beliefs are, and it is quite possible. I do not know the history of her religious order, but it is possible that Thay or something similar to Thay brought about that particular thinking. Now, I have looked at the religious books that she has given, and the religion itself is not against the arcane arts, but it is her particular order, and it does make me wonder if perhaps it was a result of something similar to say that her order arose.
Okay, well, I'm definitely against bullies and bad people. So if they're abusing the power that I've spent my life studying so that they can hurt people, then I don't like them and I will help whoever help to stop them. So,
Thank you, my friend.
no problem.
About this time, Taliri pulls Jonas down off the rail. Like, come on, let us dance then. And she starts dragging you all around the deck, Leonis.
Oh. Aliri, I thank you so much for helping us take down those people, and I'm glad that we came to your rescue. But right now, I am in no mood to celebrate. Not my thing.
But you see, my dear dragonborn friend, our life is but a flash in the pan. And if we cannot enjoy even the briefest moments of happiness when they occur to us, then we're not truly living, are we?
I completely agree with you there, but it's the fact that I don't feel happiness at this. I can't enjoy something that I don't feel happy about. I and I personally do not want to enjoy this. Um, killing even killing takes a toll on me, even when it is done justly so. I personally would rather take my time to think, recuperate about what just nothing against what you guys celebration. If you guys want to do that, completely fine with me. But for me personally, I do not feel happy with this conflict.
I understand your place.
And if you guys take gratitude in what we just accomplished, well, you might be a stronger man than I, stronger woman. Uh, you all might be. I personally cannot take my time to celebrate.
I understand. I'll leave you to it then. But please, know that the hospitality of the Raven's Tooth is yours to partake. And,
And I don't doubt that at all, and I thank you really for it.
she yells back to you, Sorsha. Sorsha,
Aye, Captain.
let us get the banquet started. Have friends to entertain. And debts to repay.
Aye. We live, but it's time to enjoy.
So, hearing that there is food forthcoming, and seeing that probably one or two of the deckhands that were playing are going to help set things up, Adron pulls out his flute and joins in with the music that may or may not still be going on.
Oh, the music is definitely going on still.
I go and find Torin, and I sit with him.
I'm gonna pull out my flute and play along too.
Okay. So soon the tables get pulled from below decks, and they get set up above deck. Some of the hands pull chairs out, and they start setting those about. Now that there's more than actual crew aboard, barrels of ale and rum get rolled up onto the deck and set down for sitting places for the rest of Fazli's crew and for you guys, the General's hand. Fazli looks at Teleri as things are getting put into place, and he goes, a moment, if you would, and I hate to pry, but what were the Thayans doing in this part of the world? Why were they pursuing you so heavily? And Teleri grins real big, and she looks back at you, Sorsha, and goes, you want to tell him then, or should I?
You have a better way with it.
Aye, very well then, very well then. We were out by Sambar Run. We had followed the Thayans for quite a while. And we knew that wherever the Thayans went, there was trouble sure to follow. We followed the Thayans to Sambar Run, near Lantan. They landed, sent a landing party to Sambar Run, where they continued inland for quite a ways. We were able to land opposite the Thayans and pursue them. And our rogue here, and she points to Flinrick, who's just kind of standing there with his hands on his hips, grinning real big, managed to infiltrate their camp and steal what they were after. Now, boyos, you know that the reputation of Taliri Seabreeze is not one to be taken lightly. I may not be appreciated in all circles of life, but we here on the Raven's Tooth tried to do the right thing, aye, Sorsha?
Most of the time, I.
Most of the time, aye. This time, and she slams down a book onto the table.
Am I close enough to see and hear this going on?
Probably. Probably. Go ahead and make a perception check. Definitely.
Excellent.
Yeah, even over the music, you're able to hear this just fine. She slams down a book onto the table. We haven't had much time to study what's inside. We've been running and fighting, you see. But what's inside does not bode well. And we're quite glad that we kept this out of the hands of the Thayans. And Fazley picks up the book. I mean, it's almost too heavy for him. As this is a very, very thick tome. And he starts flipping through it. And his eyes go wide and he pales almost immediately as he's reading what's inside. And he closes the book and hands it back to Taliri, who then passes it back to Flinrick. And he says, very, very well then, you've kept the world safe. For the time being, it may seem. And we thank you. And Taliri takes her hat off and bows at him. And she says, now my friend, it is a time for a celebration. Even if that celebration is muted, and she looks over at you, Leonis, by the loss of life. Let us celebrate our victory here tonight.
During the festivities, Quirk is going to go and try to find the navigator for the ship.
Okay.
And ask them if they can mark down on his map the location where the ship went down.
Okay. me see if I can do that. I'm gonna put it in the epicenter's note, Alec. Sorry, Quirk.
Okay.
Actually, how did we do that before? That down, but oh, okay, I'll do it this way. There you go. I marked it on the Faerun large map for you.
Okay. Perfect. You.
So, having seen the book and watching where the rogue put it, did he take it back, or did he take it down below decks, or does he still have it on him?
He actually takes it back to Taliri's quarters.
Oh, damn it. Because I was like, if he still has it on him, I'm going to try and steal it. But if it's in her quarters, there's really nowhere to hide breaking into her quarters. Never mind then.
So the food is starting to be brought out now. There's plenty of seafood brought above deck, and there's some vegetables, potatoes, carrots, mostly roots that seem to keep a little bit better. There is some stew. There's a little bit of rack of lamb and stuff, and they basically line these tables with the food. And Taliri she pushes Lauren actually to the front of the line. She's like, "It's your birthday, you go first. Take all you want." And then she moves to the back of the line. She's letting everybody else go before her.
Whenever I can, I want to try to find a chance to talk with Torin.
Okay, go ahead.
Torin is just trying to focus on not being sick because he managed to get past it, but then the battle kind of rocked him. So
that was my fear. So I go up to Torin and I go, "How you doing?"
It could be worse. Right now, I'm just he has his eyes closed. By the way, he's like, I'm just trying to focus on not feeling the motion, and it's not exactly working out too well.
That's very fair. But from what I've learned about sickness, it's actually worse to close your eyes, but more to look out over into the horizon where it's not moving as much. But that is just from my experience, people I have heard.
The horizon might not be moving, but my head is, so it doesn't exactly sit still, and it's just overall, I feel closing my eyes is better.
Okay, that's fine. If you need anything, I am here. I'm not too fond of these festivities right now, but I will let them have their fun. Let me know, okay?
Okay. And he's just like, I feel like he's like sitting in the position to meditate, but he's not actually meditating. He's just like trying not to focus on like the motion. He's just trying to like just like the darkness of his eyes right now.
Also, make sure to stay near the railing. We don't want another a different person's ship.
He cracks the small, like the even like smallest of grin that he can do at the moment, and says, "Well, that's what you're here for."
I guess that's more true than I would like. Take it easy.
I'll try.
And then I walk away and go kind of back to where I was sitting before.
You guys notice that Striker's about the middle of the line, and she is piling heap upon heap of food onto her plate. And she is grinning from ear to ear. Teleri points at Striker and leans into Sorsha. Good thing that one's not on our crew. She'd be eating us off the boat in a hurry.
Yeah, she reminds me of a few. Just here for that. Like the look of a few of them.
Oh, do you now?
You know me, Captain.
Always looking, Sorsha, always looking.
Hey, I have eyes.
Of course you do. And I don't begrudge you of that, I've got eyes too.
Seeing how much food Stryker is taking, let's see, where's my inventory? There it is. Yeah, I slide up to Leary. Captain, just apologize for the way my little halfling friend is with her appetites. Halflings could be that way, but I give her 5 gold.
Fazly shoots you a look too, like, what?
You know, I am trying to keep this a little subtle. I was hoping Fazly wouldn't overhear me, but okay. So anyway, saying that, I go, at least the ones that are not accustomed to living on the oceans. And I pass her 5 gold to cover the cost of the food that's disappearing rapidly.
She waves her hand at you. Don't you worry about me, my friend. We have debts to repay tonight, and this is our way of repaying them. And she spreads her hand out, palm up across the table, you know, motioning to the buffet.
But your debt is not to us. It is. I have a personal quest against the Thayans, and so any time I get to put an end to any of their machinations is a good day. And I still, give her the 5 gold. I'm not going to let her say no.
All right. She takes the coin and you see her put it into a pouch at her hip. And then she goes to shake your hand. Roll perception. Nice. Okay. As soon as she shakes your hand, you feel cold metal in your hand.
Yeah, and I don't let go until she takes it back. And I give her this knowing look. Don't even.
Sorsha, you're seeing Teleri staring down this high elf.
Wood elf.
She's not here.
She's restarting her
Yeah.
TeamSpeak.
Oh, dang it.
She was cutting out a little bit earlier, and I didn't really understand what the exchange was before. I'm glad John said something. There she is.
Okay. Sorsha, you are seeing Teleri and a wood elf monk standing in handshake, but they're locked, like their eyes are locked, and neither one seems to be backing down.
There is a smile on Adron's face.
Yeah, I mean, they're both like smiling, and you heard the exchange beforehand that. Well, no, I don't know. You probably
I don't
would
think I
not
did.
have heard the exchange beforehand, but they are both smiling. But Teleri is shaking his hand, and she's not letting go.
Else moving?
Teleri at one point has said, "Can you read lips?"
No.
Okay. So yeah,
No.
Teleri's mouth at one point had said, "We don't need your gold, keep it." Basically, we've had debts to repay, and this is how we're repaying them. And then she makes the motion to put the coin back into her pouch, but then she pulls her same hand out to shake Adron's hand. And here is where they are. They're now stuck in this handshake, trying to pass coin back to him.
God. Idle up with my.
You're cutting out again, Sorsha.
Yep.
Oh
you're
God!
cutting
Really,
out.
son of a.
Well, I think you just need to talk a little bit louder.
I don't have push to talk or anything on
That's why.
my headset. I don't know, craziness. Okay, I'll speak up a little bit. Is that helping?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Try that then. So I will sidle on over with my mug of ale or whatever we're.
And cut out again.
Oh,
Yep.
really?
I think you really need to put push to talk on. It's really the easiest thing to do because it never cuts out.
Yeah, as long as you're
I am
holding down
so
the button.
technology stupid.
Yeah.
Dang it all. I'm sorry, you guys.
No
It's
worries.
Okay.
Just go to settings, options, and then capture, and then you'll have a push to talk circle. Click that, and then you can put it to whatever key you want.
Alright, is that better?
Much.
So far,
So far, so good.
We will see if that works.
So you sidle on over.
Hang on, let me switch the key. It's not working well.
she may also be having the problem of it not working correctly when she's inside of
Fantasy Grounds.
Fantasy Grounds, yeah. So you may have to actually click on TeamSpeak to have the window at the forefront and then start talking.
Yeah, I had that problem several times.
Alright, how's that?
Sounds
So
good
far,
so far.
keep going.
We just need a monologue from you to figure it out.
Hooray! We will try. Okay. So I sidle on over. Well, what's this then? We making friends so easily now?
Perhaps you could talk some sense into your captain. I am part of my personal mission in life is the end of the Thayan threat. And while I am trying to reimburse the captain for the greed of my companion, she is apparently trying to insult me by refusing my repayment.
Oh no, boyo, not trying to insult you. Not trying to insult you at all. Please, know that I appreciate your offer. But we are trying to repay a debt here, as I've said, so plainly.
Were there a debt, then perhaps it would be a different matter, but there is no debt to repay.
Oh, is that how it's going to be then?
Do I see this?
It's not being hidden.
Can I walk over?
Sure.
Sorsha just throws her hands up in the air. Oh, can't we all be friends now?
What is going on here?
Your friend here is trying to pay money that isn't necessary.
Adron?
The captain is trying to refuse a gift.
Okay. So you guys are fighting about giving away money.
If we were fighting, boyo, you'd know it.
Adron just busts out laughing, goes ahead and breaks the handshake, but lets the coins fall to the deck.
Okay. One of the coins falls through the cracks in the wood decking. The others kind of roll on their side for a little bit before falling over.
I mean,
And
really, if neither of you want them, I'll take
Yeah,
them.
I will gladly take those.
Hilary kind of waves her hand dismissively. Split them among yourselves. All I know is that I don't have need for them.
I go and pick up whatever I can, whatever she doesn't pick up.
I just grab one and tuck it in my pocket.
Looks
Okay,
like I got
then,
3 then?
Yeah, Leonis, you get 3.
Okay. Cool.
You hear somebody from down below yell, "It's me lucky day!"
To which
Well, there you
Adron
go,
just
then.
laughs. A nice, deep, hearty laugh.
Oh, I needed that. Oh. John, let's go party a little bit more, if you want to.
Agreed.
As we're walking away, I turn to Adron and as we're walking, I whisper to Adron, "Don't worry, we're going to find some place to stash this that somebody else on this ship can find it."
Another deep, hearty laugh.
You want to give this away? That's fine with me.
Hilary looks at you, Sorsha, and goes, "Those two, they are trouble."
As if we don't know trouble.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm quite sure.
She just gives you the look. Oh, no. No, you don't know what I'm speaking of at all.
And it's not like we haven't faced a black dragon together or something.
Can we not talk about the black dragon that nearly killed me tonight? I would like to party.
She flourishes her right hand and bows, sweeping her hat off of her head with her left hand. As you wish, Sorsha, as you wish. And she comes back up and flips her hat back up on top of her head. And she raises her arms wide. And she looks about the crew and the people that are already starting to dine and everything. Eat, drink, and be merry, for our lives are but a flash in the pan, and soon has given us a great victory this day, an extension on our lives, if you will. Be merry, friends.
I
That's the
would like
plan, Captain.
I would like to do a puppet show with the clouds using Skyrite, reenacting the battle that we just had.
I just imagine Quirk acting like C-3PO from Return of the Jedi.
Nice. So you're using Skyrite to reenact the battle?
Yes.
Let me take a look at Skyrite real quick here.
It's technically supposed to be writing, but Keyleth used it for a picture, so...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm gonna allow it. It's pretty badass.
Cool.
And how long does it last? Is it concentration or...
Concentration up to 1 hour.
Okay, so yeah, you've got plenty of time to do this reenactment. And there are also plenty of clouds. As the night wearing on, you notice that more and more clouds are starting to crop up, and the wind is starting to blow harder, making the sea generally inhospitable for most ships.
Captain Fuzzly,
Yes.
I do believe it is time for us to take our leave so we can find a possible port for this storm.
Well, if you guys want to party more, I can just calm it where we are.
Say that again, you cut out quick.
If you guys still want to keep partying, I can just calm the wind where we are.
Duh, but we still have to deal with the waves.
Yeah.
You hear a groan off to the side from Torin at the word waves.
Sorsha winds her way back over to Larry. Looks like it's blowing up a good one, Captain.
This has been happening for about a month now. Don't have any idea what's causing it. Seas out here used to not be this inhospitable. She's looking all around, trying to judge the winds and if there's any way that you guys can weather it.
Luke is gonna slow over at this point and just shout at the sky, "Winds for the winds is gods."
Winds
Somebody
for the
has
winds,
to go
God.
get Luke's.
I'm not familiar with the winds god, Sorsha.
No, I believe that would be a new one to me.
I do know that Umberly, evil queen that she is the goddess of the seas.
Aye.
This doesn't look like her doing. This looks much more ominous, much darker.
You said,
Do we hear this conversation?
Mm-hmm.
Captain,
Okay, then
you said that this has been happening for about a month.
Aye.
Storms like these.
I
think we know why.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Would they happen to be coming from the direction of Mother of Mist Island?
She licks her finger, holds it up to the sky. I believe that's the way the winds are blowing.
That's what we feared.
Well,
It's okay, we're gonna go fix it.
do not worry, Captain. Within the next month or so.
Week.
Week at best, month at worst. These should be passing and no longer be a problem for you or your crew.
Sorsha just laughs at this. Fix it. You can fix this.
This is
I
a
was
side
thinking
effect.
the same thing.
This is a side effect of a, let us
Luke
say, an
interrupts.
errant artifact. Go ahead.
Luke interrupts Adran at this point, just like flinging his arm over his shoulder, basically hanging off of him. He's like, "Is this about the thing that we're gonna do?"
You may want to go lie down. It is going to get to be a bumpy ride tonight. And
Sounds
I
fun.
actually hand Luke over to Torin.
Torin is sitting still as a board against a wall somewhere far away from the side of the ship as possible. He's not getting up anytime soon.
A striker.
She looks up at you, mouth like still full of food, and she answers back, "Liv,
Can you take our friend here back down to our ship so that he can get sober? You can still keep eating, but he needs to start to lie down, otherwise effects might be happening soon."
Your mom is
She
ill
rolls.
effects.
She rolls her eyes and very heavily sighs. It's like, oh, all right, I suppose. And she keeps the plate of food in one hand, sets the leg of lamb that she had on top of her plate, kind of squishing it into some of the potatoes so that it stays put. And she looks up at you, Luke, and says, "Come on, we're gonna go get you settled down for the night."
But there's still partying to do.
I think you've over-partied, my friend. Besides,
There's no such thing as
you can start
over-partying.
first thing in the morning.
I am invincible.
I do a rear naked choke until Luke passes out.
Make an attack roll.
I feel like that'd be more of a grapple check.
Yeah, it's still an attack roll though. Luke, what is your AC?
Can I have advantage since Luke is drunk?
I'm just gonna say I'm so drunk that he can just get it no matter what.
Yeah, I
anyway,
was gonna
Luke's
give
AC is
advantage
14.
for it, but
Luke's AC is 14, so
okay,
That
so that
works.
grapple does actually hit though.
So
You managed to.
under normal circumstances, 3 rounds it's down to 0 hit points, but we're just going to say till he passes out.
Okay, so yeah, you put Luke in a sleeper hold, and he very quickly slumps down to the deck, and you let him down gently, and
Adran.
I pick him up, and I'm like, I guess I will be taking him.
Yes, you are.
Stryker shrugs, and she goes right back to eating, and she's talking with. She sits back down, and she's talking with several of the crew of the Raven's Tooth. The crew of Fazli's vessel, which I still haven't come up with a name for yet, and
The SS
she's
short
talking
stack.
excitedly. What was that?
The SS short stack.
Quirk is going to go over to Torin. Be like, I think I might have a solution for the trouble you've been having.
Well, my solution is to just sit here with my eyes closed. I'm not sure if there's a better option or not.
So, he casts Tensor's floating disc. Says, if you sit on this, it can just go up and down opposite to the ship. As long as it doesn't go over something more than a 10-foot swell, it should just make it so that you're actually sitting level, and the ship's just going up and down underneath you.
Torin kind of opens one eye slightly to look at it, and noticing that it's floating in place distracts him, and he starts getting queasy, and then he just closes his eye again and goes, "No, I'm good. I'm good where I am right now. Thanks, though."
Okay. Dismiss it.
That was a valid idea, Quark. Let's leave Torin
So-
as he is.
So Taliri's looking back at Sorsha. Fix this. How can they fix this?
I turn
What are
back
they
to
on
her.
about?
I turn back to her
You got me, Captain.
and I say, well, part of our reason for being out here is to retrieve something. Retrieving this item should fix this entire mess of wind and water.
Her eyes narrow and she looks at you. What might you be even then?
That is not for me to say.
Sorsha quirks an eyebrow. Could you be a little bit more vague, please?
I could be much more vague if I wanted to. And I'm just staring them down.
Roll intimidation.
That's not going to go well. I'm not trying to intimidate them. I'm just kind of waiting for them to say something. Oh, wow.
Nice roll.
Now, I've given you my hospitality. I've given you food and drink. I would very much like it if you could tell me what you're on about.
I'm just saying that our mission will fix this. I do not. This is not my mission to begin with, so I do not feel comfortable with revealing all the details. If Adron gets back and he feels fit, he can tell you more about it. But from all I've said right now is all I'm going to say. Ask
I
Adron
can
more
respect
about it.
that.
I'm not trying to. What you've done for us is I'm very grateful for, and we all are grateful for. But we do have a right to keep what we need to keep private.
Very well then. I will speak with him at his earliest convenience if you'd pass it along.
Isn't he on his way back? DM question.
Yeah,
Up to him.
I actually sent you a note in Fantasy Grounds that once I
Okay.
set Luke in his cabin, I return.
Okay.
He should be on his way back.
Alright. So, Taliri grabs a fairly large tankard of rum, and she dilutes it with some pineapple juice. And he swirls it real vigorously to mix it. Takes a fairly long wig. And just, I mean, the entire time she's like looking back and forth between you, Leonis, and Sorsha, and then the rest of the crew, but primarily between Leonis and Sorsha.
So what was your ship doing out here? I might have missed that. But
The Thayans wandered into this territory. And we knew that wherever the Thayans were, there would be trouble to follow. So
They never bring anything good.
I can respect that.
we followed them at a respectable distance to the Sambad Run near Lantern. They landed on one side of the island, we landed on the t'other. We followed their expedition for days. And
Okay.
we sent in our rogue, Flindrick. And he managed to recover the book that you saw earlier. That book does not bode well for the world. Well, when their leader figured out that we had taken the book from him, he was enraged and he chased us. We were only trying to do what was right, you see.
Oh, I'm not saying anything about that at all. That what you say is completely fine. What is the book that is so not boding well?
At this point, she jerks her head back towards her cabin. Perhaps that's a tale for more private ears.
I'm all ready to listen.
Well, perhaps not quite so many ears.
Aye, and she wraps her hand on your shoulder, her right arm around your shoulder, Sorsha, and she puts one on your shoulder, Leonis, and she kind of corrals you towards her quarters.
I'm thinking this is about the time that I'm getting back. And seeing this, I'm just...
She looks back over her shoulder and she's like, "You too, pretty boy."
And the thought that is running through Adron's head is not the purest thought out there.
Come on, Adron.
His may not be the only one.
So Adron very obviously hesitates a moment.
I said, "You too, pretty boy."
I'm just giving him that look, just like, come on, just deal with it.
Sorsha looks back as well. Don't worry. We won't bite. Yet.
Unless you ask us to.
Also, how did she get her
Nicely.
arm around me? I'm 6'5".
He's that good. Hilarious
okay.
5'8".
Okay, good enough. Also,
Actually, no, I take that back. She's 5'10".
Okay. I also say, maybe we bring Quark along as well. Might have some insight to this book that we might not.
And hearing the word "the book," okay, he goes.
Well, that was a
Your
question to
Your
Kelly
call,
Reed.
Captain.
There's a book. I can help with a book.
He's looking all around. Come on.
Okay.
I feel like if there were any at all impure thoughts of any possibilities, the mention of Quark just killed it completely.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorsha likes a challenge sometimes.
In case you were unaware, Quark is an Aarakocra, a giant bird.
He's a bird man.
Oh, I'm aware.
just making
Officially
sure.
an underaged Erica.
How underage are you? I thought you were 3.
Oh, that's too
A
bad.
year.
No,
He's
I'm
2.
2.5.
They mature at 3. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's what I was wondering.
That's why I said any quote unquote impure thoughts were just gone as
I
soon
knew
as
he was
Quark
young.
was
I didn't
mentioned.
realize he was that young.
Aw,
Yeah.
didn't realize he was a child. Come along then.
So,
Okay.
yeah, Teleri ushers Sorsha and Leonis in her arms into her cabin. Sitting
Oh my
on her
God.
desk
I'm
is
sorry.
this huge tome.
I'm sorry. That's such a good point, Urban Warrior. That's what you call a cock block. That is brilliant.
Points to
Oh,
you,
the
Urban Warrior.
puns. The puns. That is awesome.
That is
Yep,
brilliant.
Wheels is gonna love us for that kind of pun.
That was beautiful.
Thank you,
Um,
Urban Warrior 101.
So as soon as Adron and Quirk enter, she motions to the door. Close it and lock it.
I do so.
Do you want it
And
to be
she-
extra secure?
That won't be necessary.
Okay.
She pulls out the tome and she hands it to you, Adron.
Do I recognize it at all?
Make a religion check on it.
Can I also make this?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody in here can make the religion check on it. Quirk, you can actually make an arcana check on it.
Oh,
Wow,
okay.
if only Torin was there with a religion check.
Yeah, but Torrid has a problem right now.
Torin has many problems. He's just dealing with one right now.
Oh, that was another thing that I didn't get for you, Sorsha. I did not get your skills.
I can.
You've got a skills tab
Can
though.
I type it?
Down in the bottom left-hand corner, you see the modifier box.
Hmm.
You can type the modifier in there.
Okay, momentary.
And then just pick up your d20 and drop it in the chat. And it should apply that modifier to the...
I don't know crap.
Okay. Although Taliri
well.
probably would have filled you in about all of this anyway. So... Adron, this is a book of prophecy regarding the end of the world. And contained within it are ways that somebody with ill intent could reshape the world to help bring about its destruction or influence certain portions of the prophecy.
Yes, it is very good that you did not let this fall into their hands.
I know. But now, you mentioned fixing this. How do you intend to fix this?
There are
Because the reason I ask is because I found what's happening around the Mother of Mists in this book.
the prophecy which deals with this probably mentioned an artifact of some sort. It is those artifacts that we are seeking to return to their rightful place. Once they are returned to where they should be, these troubles will end.
And how long is that going to take?
Well, the issues around Mother of Mist will be resolved as soon as we recover the artifact. However, there are three more after such. 3 or 4?
3.
3 more after.
Yeah, 3 more. Yeah, because you guys have got life and death.
Ah.
You would have water.
Yeah.
And then there would be
Air,
the
fire,
3 others.
forest.
There are 3 additional artifacts after this one that must be recovered as well. However, as I said, the problems surrounding Mother of Mist will be done and over with once we recover the artifact. Should we fail in our quest to return the artifacts to where they belong, the world will die.
You better
He-
hope that shouldn't happen then.
And that
Yeah,
is why we are on our
Teleri-
quest.
Cleary tilts her head at you. How do you know all of this?
Someone that I do not believe has the best interests of the world at heart brought this quest to our attention, and we are in part trying to stop that individual as well. The first portion of the information which he gave to us proved true. So rather than returning to him to try to get more information, we are using our best estimate of where the location for these artifacts are in order to chase them down.
I see. Very well then.
I would like to cross-reference locations that I found with this book to see if it has reference to things in the area.
Say the last part again. Cross-reference to see what?
So cross-reference the locations that I found with information in this book to see if it describes events that are going to be happening in those same areas.
Essentially, he's double checking that the areas that we've marked as, so that's where these stones are, as being in the book.
The book is very vague. I mean, it's a book of prophecy. So it's written in high-level flowery language that may or may not be true.
Okay.
But the pieces that you are getting, and especially surrounding like Mother of Mists and what you guys saw at the Spider Swamp at the desecrated Temple of Soon there, they are matching up.
Alright. Does it describe anything about the Mother of Mists that we haven't encountered yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Um, it describes that the sea itself will swallow them whole.
Is Quirk reading this out loud, or is he keeping this to himself?
Well, when I read that, I'm just gonna be like, Adron, it says the sea is going to eat us.
Yeah, then it is
What do you mean?
It is a good thing that we came prepared, as I twist the ring on my finger.
So it's
A ring of water breathing? Larry looks at you.
I nod.
Good lad.
Oh. You guys get more and more interesting the more I see.
Easy
This
there,
whole-
Sorsha. Easy.
Adron is blushing.
I have eyes, Captain.
I never disputed.
Anyways, this whole escapade that we are on is dangerous to say the least, but we know that we must do it, otherwise things like this, and I just gesture around me to like the world will continue.
I. She looks to you, Sorsha. and she doesn't actually say any words, but she lip reads them.
Hmm.
Oh, and also, what languages do you speak, Sorsha?
Common, Elvish, Sylvan. That's it. Saoirse just
That comes across to you in Sylvan.
just quirks her head to the side. I think you probably do a little bit better with the call of the greater good. I leave this to you.
Not understanding what they said and not even seeing any note, so I could pretend to know. But Dron says to Leary, Captain, do you mind if we take the book with us?
He laughs really loud. Really, really hearty. Really loud. I guess there's our answer then. Soon we'll provide, Sorsha.
I can.
Fun filling us in.
I had just asked if we should let you take the book.
Saoirse nods.
I raise my non-existent eyebrows. Just looking like, what? Why?
Do not look at
Perhaps it will aid you on your journey. More so than it will aid us.
Not to mention, I think I'd feel safer with that thing out of our hands. Who else knows who wants it? We have our own issues to deal with.
That we do. That we do. So please, friends, take it. It's worth at least 5 gold, I'd say. And she grins at you, Adron.
I smile back and I nod. Well played, Captain, well played. Many thanks.
Now, I would suggest hiding it, at least for the time being. Flinrick will be gutted if he knew that I let it go. In fact, he risked life and limb to get it.
He will be a bit cross with you.
I can take it. I'm not worried.
I've already hidden it in behind my
Of course
shirt.
you have. Never mind.
Am I able to use Mary script on something that is already written?
Are you able to use which?
Illusory script.
That's a good question. Thank you.
There's nothing saying that it has to be blank.
As you write on parchment paper or some other suitable writing material. So you would actually have to write within the book.
Actually, with my shadow arts as part of my class feature, I'm able to cast minor illusion as a cantrip.
That would work.
And so I minor illusion so that the book cannot be seen, in addition to it being hidden on my person.
Okay.
It's not invisible though, is that?
No, it doesn't. You can't tell I have anything stuffed in my pants. It's like an added layer of clothing.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I get what you're saying. Even if
Nope,
you said it really
nope,
badly.
not saying it.
Ari will not be pleased.
On purpose.
So you stuff your pants and then you hide the fact that you stuffed your pants and then. Okay.
Yep.
There are children around.
Oi.
At this point, guys, I'm going to take a quick break for bio break, and we will be right back.
Yay.
I'm actually glad you did that. I really have to go to the bathroom.
Yep.
Yeah, puppy's got to go out. He's scratching at the door.
Yeah. Alex, I don't think. Did you have ink that would have worked?
Oh, I got
Really?
ink all over the place.
Do you have do you have a lead-based ink worth at least 10 GP?
Actually, I might. I did buy a bunch of the. It's basically what I spent my starting stuff on.
If you have black ink in Faerun, that's the basis for black ink, is lead.
You have 1 ounce. You have a 1 ounce ink. I don't know if it's worth 2 GP though. I mean 10 GP.
Lead-based ink worth 10 GP. Yep, got that.
Well, there you go. You would have had it.
Yep.
I will be right back as well.
So how is everybody doing this evening? Unfortunately, I don't have the chat up in case anyone from the chat is answering. So if anybody's still here could let me know what they say, I would appreciate it.
I'm still here, but I'm running off for quick break as well. So.
Oh, okay.
I'm still here. I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Here I was thinking I was going to have to entertain the chat by myself when I can't see the chat.
Oh, well, that would be
awkward.
impressive. That would be impressive. So, chat, I hope you are enjoying so far. I know I am. I love the fact that I get to play Teleri, even if for a little bit, and the fact that I get to have Portia, the person who played her first mate, well, I guess Vita Phoenix on Twitter, the person who played her first mate in the Pirate one-shot that we did a couple months ago, in here to help is awesome.
And you guys were telling me about my choice of wording.
Excuse me, you had too many bass drums in that, but
It was a rim.
It depends.
There are never too many bass drums.
Dum, dum, dum.
No, there are sometimes too many bass.
You are incorrect.
Nope.
Just like cowbell, there's never enough cowbell. There is always
I got a
room for
fever.
more.
And the
I have
answer
a
is
fever.
more cowbell.
The only cure is more cowbell. More fever. Oh.
More fever.
Yeah.
More
I got a
fever.
fever, and the only cure is more fever.
I don't think that's how that goes.
No, it doesn't.
Just taking a guess.
I am failing left, right, and center. At least I'm not failing on my rolls. Knock on wood. Knock, knock, knock. Oh, but
I
this.
still can't believe I did that intimidation check then. that made me laugh.
Oh,
It was-
lordy.
It was very close. She was only very slightly intimidated.
I wasn't even trying to intimidate her. Just kind of a 6'5"
It's the way it came
dragon
across,
bro.
though. The way it came across.
I take it as me being big.
Tempest, I love that one. 2 snare drums and a cymbal fall down a hill. But
Well, D&D and the food and the caffeine have helped. I'm awake.
Yay!
Yeah.
Everybody back?
Now if I can just stay awake till like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. I think we're all here. Is there anybody that's not here? Speak up now.
I'm not here.
Dang it. Oh well. Let's just leave
I'm
him.
mostly here.
Let's throw John overboard while he can't defend himself.
Alright. I think we're all back. So with that, Hilary nods at you guys and, well then, I wish you well on your journey. If what you say is true, then we're all going to need your help.
Just know that you have helped us immensely by allowing us the book.
If you would, please spread the good news. It is Hilary Seabreeze and her crew, the Ravens too.
Indeed we shall.
I plan
Not to mention, can you do us all a favor and not screw it up?
Oh,
That's a big favor right
saving
there.
the world is a big job. Don't screw it up. You only get one shot from what I understand.
We will be sure that we get this one right.
During this whole exchange, Dorsey's just got a smirk on her face and her eyebrow quirked. Sure hope so.
And Adron doesn't know why, but he has the urge to blush and does so.
Nice.
Let's go. And I take a draw and I spin around and we just push him towards the door.
Oh, you don't have to push very hard. He's out the door in an instant.
I know, and I'm just trying to like usher you out. I turn back and I say, "Thank you so much for all of this. Sorry about earlier. I just didn't feel like I was in the right place to tell you."
She nods. I understand.
Okay. When we leave, do they stay in the cabin?
Taliri and Sorsha would probably stay behind for a minute at most.
Okay. As soon as we shut the door for leaving her cabin, I quickly take out 5 GP that I have, and I'm going to put it right next to the door. Like, so that when they when they open the door, they'll see it stacked there neatly.
Nice.
Alright, when Taliri and Sorsha open the door,
We're gone.
We're back on our
she
ship.
hears the clattering of coins. And, are you guys below decks or are you on the deck of Fazli's ship at this point?
I'm leaning. I'm
Like,
leaning,
visible.
I am visible. I'm leaning against the mast.
Sorsha,
Yeah,
you see Taliri roll her eyes real big as she looks down and sees the coins. And then she looks over at you, Leonis, and she does the I'm watching.
I put my hands up like, what are you talking about? I didn't do anything. Look.
She picks up the coins and holds them up.
I'm still.
She places them back in her pouch. And she leans over to Sorsha. I'm gonna give these back to their captain, with a message to give them back to his companions.
Are we really gonna play Pass the Gold?
One of my favorite pastimes. Especially if it's
Well,
being passed from the evil wealthy to us.
Well, aye. By the way, did I make one of them actually blush? That's been a while.
Multiple times, dearie. Multiple times.
Ah, too bad they're leaving so soon, but they have a job to do.
Aye. Shame we can't help them.
Shame indeed.
Maybe we can run interference for them.
Oh, that we could do. Just mean I get to go bang bang again and have a little more fun.
Aye. In fact, you actually did some pretty good shooting from the side of the ship earlier.
Well, of course I did. And she pulls one of her pistols and just twirls it around a bit. It's what I do, Captain. Well, one of the things I do.
Larry nods.
And below deck, Adron can't help but blush again, and he doesn't know why.
I will admit, I like sushi.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, I would hope so.
You'd be surprised. I've had some hard times with some PCs, but her I like.
It's a lot of fun. It really is.
Can she transfer, like, give Teleri some sort of, like, I'm transferring ships and just be a permanent part of the cast? Because I'd be happy about that.
I don't have time.
Yeah,
Wish you did.
unfortunately, she has prior commitments. But she did agree to one shot with us, which I'm very grateful for.
Woo!
Indeed.
I wish I could have gotten the entire crew of the one shot to join us tonight. I think that would have been a lot of fun.
It would have been fun. I feel like it would have been insane as far as people talking over each other, possibly.
It would have been, but it's okay. So, true to her word, Teleri corners Basley and gives him the 5 gold. With the instructions to return this to, the party. And she grins and writes a note. Actually, no, she doesn't. She doesn't write a note so much as gives him very specific instructions about how it's to be returned. The festivities wind down, and pretty soon, the crew of Fazli's ship transfers back over. Since the winds are picking up, Teleri actually calls for the sails to be rolled in. Fazli's crew does the same. They roll in their sails. And once everybody is safely back aboard Fazli's ship, they pull the catwalks and basically like grappling hooks tying the ship together. They remove those and then push off with giant poles and oars. And you guys are back on your way towards the Mother of Mists. Anybody doing anything at night prior to sleeping?
I'm going to go over to Fastly and just be like, if you don't want to have to tie your sails up, I can use the control wind to make the winds less instead of more.
That would be great if you could.
Okay.
We would like to try and continue on towards Mother of Mists, since that's where you're going after all. But we can do it at whatever pace you desire. After all, the Pasha is paying for all of this.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want your ship to get hurt by all of this.
We appreciate the kindness.
Okay.
So you cast that, and the winds around. It's a 100-foot cube.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so the winds surrounding the ship basically calm, and uh, you see. Are how are you guys doing this? Are you Are you continuing on at a moderate pace, or how are you going?
So, I think I would put it to the maximum pace that won't damage the sails.
Okay. Yeah. You guys continue sailing on. In the morning, the
I do actually.
winds.
Sorry, I realize I do want to do something with it.
Go ahead.
I want to go find a drawn at some point.
Okay.
Well, maybe probably the next day, and go up to him and say, "Hello."
Da.
So when we were on that ship last night, we were talking to Teleri, Sosha. They were asking me all these questions about our journey that we are on and the reasons we are on it. I just want your input on knowing exactly how much we should tell other people about this. I did not want to spoil. I did not want to say anything, especially because this was not my quest to begin with. I waited for you to get back so that you could explain in better and more detail.
I thank you for your forethought, but this is as much your quest as it is mine. Uh, Use your best judgment on whether these individuals are trustworthy or not. And if you believe that they are, tell them as much as you feel comfortable telling.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. That. And he kind of stands there awkwardly because he doesn't really know what else to say, and he's just like,
Adron claps his hand on your shoulder and says, I trust your judgment. I would not have asked you to join us if I did not.
he still looks a little bit flustered, but says, "Well, thank you. That means a lot. I trust you as well. Good day." And he kind of walks away. Not the best with people.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else at night?
No.
Would I begin to? Would I be able to start working on the fish finder?
Aren't you controlling the winds?
Yes, I am. Okay.
Yeah, that's a concentration spell, isn't it?
Yes. 1 hour at a time. I have up to 7 shots of it, and it replenishes at dawn, right?
D4 plus 1 at dawn.
4
8
plus 1.
charges.
Okay. So how long do we want to have the wind controlled for?
I would say it until the storm is over. But if it's going to take longer than the wand has charges, then we'll just have to to go for as long as possible. And then let the wand fully recharge before we go again.
Okay. So I can do it up to 7 hours. So I guess we just go for that.
Did the winds die down when the day came? Or are they still just going as strong?
Right now it's still nighttime.
Okay. Never mind.
So how long is the storm lasting?
It is lasting throughout the evening.
Okay.
Every time you let the spell lapse, it's not very long before the winds come sweeping back in again. And the waves along with it start getting choppy and rough. Again, this is not a very habitable portion of the sea currently. When you use the control winds, though, the chop on the waves begins to dissipate. The wind itself starts cooperating with you, and you are able to sail as if it was standard day.
Okay.
A pleasant day, let me put it that way.
So, I think I'm going to have to kind of negotiate it out with the captain so that I get a chance to sleep. But, yeah, we'll just...
Well, okay. If it's a wand, would I be able to use it?
Should be able to.
I thought anybody was able to use one as long as they had, use magic item or device or something like that.
Well, that was in previous editions.
Yeah, that was in the 3.x edition where they had the use magic device, which was overpowered as heck and awesome, and I loved it. But my question is, because my Shadow Arts does give me some knowledge of magic with my ability to cast Minor Illusion
You do it?
as a cantrip. So my question is, does that give me enough knowledge to be able to use a wand or a scroll? Or maybe just a wand and not necessarily a scroll?
I could probably do it. I have enough magical background to be able to do this.
Trying to see if there's anything that talks about magic devices right now.
And this is a question I'm going to pose to the D&D experts as well on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, just for the sake of keeping things moving, you should be able to.
Okay, so, yeah, after I, as soon as I get down and put my stuff down, and hide the book even better amongst my own gear, I meditate for 4 hours, and then I will go and replace Quirk so he can get his rest.
Okay.
Okay, here you go. And thank you. I'm really getting tired.
I can understand. Thank you for standing as long as you did.
No problem.
So in the morning, after the last charge of control winds has been expended from the wand,
All of those charges.
I make sure to alert the captain about 10 minutes before it ends so that he can go ahead and bring down the sails in case the storm
Okay.
is still raging.
The captain nods and thanks you, and he does go ahead and prepare for storm conditions. As the sun is coming up, you guys can actually see the sails behind you in the distance of actually the Raven's Tooth. They're coming the same direction that you are. And they actually managed to ride along with you as much as possible. They tried to stay as close as possible, using you as like a windbreak almost. But they still have fallen behind you a fair distance. As the control wind expires, though, the winds do start getting up, but they're not quite the way they were before. They're not as dangerous as what they were the previous evening. The previous evening, those winds, left unchecked, could have sheared masts and basically tossed a ship on its side with the waves that they were creating.
Can I make a nature check?
Yeah.
Just to see if... What do I see? Not much. Cool.
Pretty much right now, as its namesake, you are seeing that, and you guys are probably right about...
Alright, we just got 5 shots of control wind back.
Nice.
Good roll.
So you guys are probably right about here by now. As you start getting into this area, it starts getting incredibly foggy. And you hear Captain Fazley call for slow going. The wind, or the sails are down. They're open partially. They're not open completely, so that they can control movement better. And in short order, probably within the first couple hours of the morning, you guys do actually land on Mother of Mists.
Okay, I make sure I give the wand back to Quirk.
Thank you!
Well, thank you, my friend.
Once the ship runs gently aground, Fazley drops anchor and looks at you, Adron, and goes, "Well, I suppose we're here then, and it looks like our friends are going to be joining us as well." And he motions back to the back of the ship, where you can see the Raven's Tooth, probably about an hour away.
Let us meet them on the shore. And I gather our party so that we can water walk onto the shore.
Okay.
I'm going to switch my spells because
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Cool.
Give me just a second here, and I can get party resting.
Thorin's still hurt. Okay.
I forget how many spells I can prepare.
It should be on your actions tab.
Actions tab.
Sorry, abilities. Abilities.
Abilities
If
tab.
you go to preparation, change the mode to preparation.
I can't change mode of abilities. Actions I can.
Okay, so
Yeah, no, but it doesn't tell me how many I can prepare. It tells me how many slots I have.
that's.
That's not how many I can prepare.
You get a.
I know. I'm looking. No worries.
Okay. You get a bonus based on your spellcasting ability modifier.
Yeah.
Typically.
Abilities under features, spellcasting, it will tell you in there.
Wisdom modifier plus druid level. Cool. I just looked it up in the book. It's
Kalia?
so I can do.
Kalia?
Yeah.
Luke has to leave. Migraine.
Oh, Luke, take it easy. Go get that thing knocked out.
Yeah.
Will do. See ya.
It should tell you how many you can have.
Oh yeah, no, I found it. It
Okay.
doesn't tell you on Fantasy Grounds. It just looked it up in the book.
Does for me.
Where
At
does it
least
tell
how
you
many.
that?
It tells me how many spell slots I can have.
Oh no, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking at how many I can prepare.
Oh.
Certain classes can prepare more spells than they can actually cast in a day.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
wish it would say in Fantasy Grounds how many
Yeah,
you
that
can prepare.
both clerics and druids can do that. So I know he has to do that along with me. And I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure for both of us, it's probably wisdom modifier plus druid level, maybe.
So, all
I
of that
forgot.
information is actually in your features list under your spellcasting ability.
Features.
Where?
Which would actually,
So-
it's going to be on your abilities tab.
Yeah,
For your
so
character?
abilities, features, spellcasting.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's just like looking it up in the book.
Yep, pretty much.
Got it.
I was just about to mention that quirk, so thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, wisdom modifier plus cleric or druid level, depending on which one you are. So we can both prepare. I don't know about you, but I can prepare. And you can prepare 8.
So I can. How many do I have?
I have 8. Wow, why do I not have a 9?
4. Just 8? I feel like that's off.
No, it's not. Preparing spells, you don't nearly have as many as. Actually, no. Because, like, sorcerers, you don't get to know that many spells that early. Like, wizards, you just know a ton because you're a wizard. But
Alright, guys, moving on.
I'm with you.
Okay, so the Raven's Tooth shows up about an hour later. And Teleri has it run aground in a similar manner to what Fazli's ship has done. He drops anchor, and the rest of the crew disembarks. You guys have landed on the northeastern shore here, and Hilary greets you, and she says, "Well, looks like we'll be joining you at least for a piece. If it hadn't been for you, we wouldn't have been able to make it through those storms."
We will be glad for your company.
Hilary looks at you and she says, I have the feeling that where you're going we cannot follow.
Unfortunately, but nonetheless, having you near Easy comfort.
Rest assured, the Raven's Tooth will be running interference for you.
I nod my thanks. I look to my group, lingering on Ari, and start heading us inland.
Okay. Dorsha, give me a perception check.
Can I also make a nature check
Sure.
on the nature of this island to see like what kind of wildlife would be living here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also want to point out, as soon as they hit land and walked onto land, Torin just jumped on it and just laid on his back, looking up at the sky.
I also, before I do like looking around the island, I lean down and I pat him on the back of the armor.
Really?
We're here.
Really? Apparently,
Roll-
Fantasy
roll
Grounds
with
likes me
advantage.
about as much as Roll20 does.
Yeah, roll with advantage because you've been here before. There we go, that's better.
Little better.
I was just about to type out to you. You can roll higher than a 10. I'll allow it.
I brought my Roll20 curse.
Yeah, for those of you that didn't get the chance to watch the pirate one shot, it was in Roll20, and Dorsha had not been able to roll above a 10 the entire night, and I finally
Nope.
told her, I will allow you to, as your captain, I will allow you to roll higher than a 10. And she then rolled back-to-back nat 20s.
I did.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was awesome. Pretty
Shots
awesome.
against a black dragon. It was beautiful.
So, Torin makes sand angels. So, Sorsha, you arriving here recognize that everything about this island is way off. It's way too quiet, for one. And two, there used to be habitation in this area of the island, which is why you guys landed here. The Raven's Tooth has done business on Mother of Mists plenty of times in the past, and there used to be like settlements and stuff here, but there is nothing here now.
I don't like it, Captain. Something's not right. A lot of things aren't right, but something particular here is not right.
What did
she
I get
draws
with
her
my
pistol.
nature check?
Are you saying that loud enough for the others to hear as well? Because you are fairly close to the party.
No, I'm not being subtle about it. It's not like an aside. It's a half yell. In other
Okay.
words, does anybody know what's going on?
Your nature check shows that this area should be lush and verdant green because of the amount of moisture that it gets, and because it is typically surrounded by this fog. It should be lush and green. You are not getting that at all. It seems as if the life in this area has been drained.
I can agree with your sense that something is not right. Just as we suspect. I'm to put a stop to this soon.
No magic work. You're not detecting any magic.
If only I would have taken Detect Evil.
Taliri looks around. We used to do business here, boyos. But there's nothing here. But we were just here last week.
Last
Right.
week?
This is the physical place where we were, but this is not the place.
Is probably a side effect of the artifact we are after. It has a habit of
Messing things up.
transporting things from one plane to another. It would not surprise me if the individuals that, or even the whole town that should be here is now within the plane of water or somewhere else.
Transporting.
Da.
Can you get them back? We did good business with them.
I actually see of
You
You're
keep cutting
breaking
out.
up really bad, Quirk.
do I see any evidence of things having been dimensionally teleported or portals having been opened?
Again, no magic.
No, I don't think that's exactly it. I don't see any evidence of actually that.
I have a feeling that this wasn't portal trans whatever it was. I think that this has just drained some of the life from what used to be here. This is not at all what this area should look like, and probably not at all what you saw it as last week.
It's definitely not what we saw it as last week. Last week there were people walking on the shores, carrying on and having a good time.
Where was the foliage around this much more lush and whatnot?
Teleri is pale by nature. She's a moon elf. But as you're looking at her, you can see her face drain even more. And she looks directly at Sorsha, and she nods. Aye?
To put a stop to this now. Let us move.
Can I suggest that once we get this stone, we try to use the other stone to maybe restore some of it?
I don't have to put one.
We, they just started hosting Geek and Sundry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why did they just start hosting,
I don't know. That's still, almost an hour away.
Someone did.
What?
Meow.
No, it wasn't me.
Wasn't
Wait,
me. I don't
John,
even have the channel up.
What, John? What did he mean by he knows 18/14 spells?
That's how many spells he knows right now.
Who, Torrent?
Yeah.
How?
There's a few extra you get because of the life domain.
Got it. Forgot
But
about.
I feel
yeah.
like I should only have 8. And
You can probably as was said earlier, you probably know more than you can actually prepare, or know
Yeah.
more than
Yeah.
Like, I know my whole spell list, technically, but I can only prepare so many spells from that spell list. So I have to pick and choose every time we take a long rest to, like, say, oh, I'm going to take this one, or I'm going to take this one. It's the same kind of thing Keyleth does whenever, like, oh, do you have polymorph for Trinket? Oh, no, I didn't take it. Just didn't prepare it.
Yeah, cleric. Because clerics are
Cleric or
similar.
Druid.
Yeah,
it's the
clerics
same
are
thing.
similar that way, but the specific domain spells don't count against that. So it's pretty cool.
Correct.
Yeah, it doesn't go against the prepared spell. So you get the domain spells plus whatever spells you prepare.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, the campaign I'm DMing is we have a cleric, so I made sure I knew what I was looking at there.
Yeah, so you should have 8 plus 6 because you should already have 6 from your domain, and then the 8 that you.
Okay,
can
so yeah,
prepare
that
other than
explains
that.
it. Because
Okay,
I got
cool.
I got the 18 from the cantrips, and I'm like, wait, they're cantrips. They don't count.
Yeah, cantrips don't count against your
Not against your
your
prepared.
spells.
I've got 8 that I can prepare, and all of the ones that I can't prepare are rituals, so I can cast them with an extra 10 minutes.
Yay. Okay,
Okay,
Yay,
it was
not
Kimmy.
needing to use a spell slot.
Kimmy jumped the gun.
Yep.
So are we streaming again?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
we're
are.
back. I unhosted.
Oh, okay.
So, okay. So the the blood drains out of Taliri's face, and she's like, yeah, this place was green last week. And I mean, she's looking back and forth between Sorsha and the rest of you.
Can I, for the sake of it, make a religion check to see if I can see anything that might be, like, evil-ish?
Sure.
I would.
I'm going to say sure, and I'm going to put caveat on it. Not necessarily evil, but out of the ordinary.
I would also like to make an Arcana check over whether, having brought our stone closer to this stone might be causing it.
And since I'm here, would there be an appropriate check I'd do?
For you, let's go just a standard intelligence check, Sorsha.
That I can do.
With the background knowledge of the stones that Adron has, he is convinced that this is because of the stones and is not overly concerned at the moment.
Yeah, I just wanna, yeah. Same.
Well, you said I could roll above a 10 now.
See,
That's a nice
I told
roll.
you.
We all
I
roll
told
pretty
you.
damn well.
Can you
All
do
right.
that every time I play, please?
Just hit me up. I'll voice chat with you real quick. Tell you that you can do good. Send you on your way. Deal?
Tempting.
I'll even give you my cell phone number if you need it. We can make that happen. So, Torin, you are looking around, and you see embedded in the sand a starfish. But this starfish is actually glowing. And on its top layer, there are like intricate designs and patterns on it. They're glowing yellow. And it looks like it's a language, but you can't quite tell what language.
Does he know it to anyone?
I was waiting. I didn't know if you were gonna go over everybody's checks first or not.
So that is what you get. Sorsha, what you get, is that with the way the sea has been acting here lately, it's entirely possible that everybody that was ashore, basically the sea came up and washed everything away. It would have had to do that very violently and very suddenly in order for that to happen.
Oh, dear God.
And Quirk, with your Arcana check. don't get the feeling that bringing the stones together is what's causing this.
Okay.
You think it's more the fact that the energy that was provided by the stones those 2 millennia ago is starting to drain away, and because it's starting to drain away, the bad shit is starting to happen.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to everyone and just be like, we gotta get doing this stuff quicker.
I said that, yes. We need to move.
Didn't someone say earlier something about being swallowed by the sea?
That was in the book.
Yes, well, we may be seeing that here.
Then we need to do it quickly.
At that
Indeed.
moment, Torn, who's on one knee and kind of leaning like on his mace, looks over to the rest and calls out, "Hey, anybody read whatever's on this thing over here? I can't see what it is."
Work can.
Gonna go over and read it.
Wow, I need that spell for one of my PCs.
I love that particular spell.
Actually, I'm going to look and see
And
if I
as
can get
good as
spell
that
for one of my
particular
PCs.
spell is, it doesn't actually work.
Dun dun dun. Work, can you read it?
No, and this is strange, because I should be able to understand any written language that I see.
I believe we are going to have to make the assumption that it means hurry your asses up.
Is it a... can I do Arcana to see if it's a glyph?
Yes.
Quirk, it seems like any check he makes tonight is just an Arcana check.
He's a wizard, that's what he does. Alright guys, I'm trying to get an image for you of that starfish. And I have it, I'm just trying to import it into the folder. What was the result, Quirk?
So that was a 21?
21? It is in fact a glyph, but you were still not able to really comprehend what exactly it is.
Okay.
I say we leave it there and we keep moving. To fix this as soon as possible.
Kaviri picks it up. And
Not
I mean,
leaving
she's
it there.
looking at it deeply. Oh, I believe this is tied to your destiny. I can't say for sure what it is. But I believe you need to bring this with you. Perhaps where you're going, its meaning will be made clear.
That's fine then. I take it if I can.
Yeah, she hands it to you.
Okay, we have it with us. Let's move.
And I am sharing now. This is the starfish.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Fancy.
That is definitely a starfish.
With glyphs on it, right?
Just in case anybody was wondering.
Yes, with glyphs on it.
That glyph is weird in the ground. It looks like an arrow. Is that pointing somewhere? I think we should follow that arrow.
Yeah, I'm going towards that arrow.
We'll assume it's pointing inland.
Yep.
As as you start following the arrow, you begin walking into the water. It's almost as if this starfish is compelling you to walk into the water.
The starfish compels you. The starfish
Into
compels
the
you.
water or onto the water?
Yeah, because I will walk onto the water.
I don't know if we can swim down with that active, can we?
I mean, we have to
You
make
would
it
have to-
active. So it's not always active. We speak a word and we make it active.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys would have to activate the ring of water walking in order for it to activate.
Wait, so is it actually leading us towards the water, or was that?
No, I'm serious. It is actually leading you towards the water.
Like, not inland, but... Okay. I could swim down there to see what I see. Any objections?
So it's like directing us back out to the ocean?
Yes.
You hear a long sigh from Torin. We just got on land. We have to go back out again? Can I just stay here?
Is it directing me downwards, or is it directing me just out?
It's directing you out and down.
I think that it's not... We are too far... I think we are too far above where we need to be right now.
Well, we can all breathe under the water with the other rings, right?
Da.
That is true. But our heavily armored friends here can't necessarily swim.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to. He can just walk on the bottom.
That is true.
You're already really slow with heavy armor. Walking underwater will be even slower.
Da, but if it is where we need to go, then it is where we need to go.
If we can get directly over it, then we can just we could walk out there, and once we're over it, then we just grab hold of him and we all turn off our rings and he'll take us right to it.
That is an idea. Is that what we want to do?
I can shift into an animal more used to the water to help with this, help move us around. Do I know? Do I have an option?
I'm also going to send Quibble back into his pocket dimension.
I left Arya on the ship.
Ari by this point would be joining you guys.
Yeah.
She's been holed up for 20 days. She's ready to go.
We have 2 anchors.
So,
Guys, you let me forget the music this week.
Well,
sorry, we were so enraptured by the quest. We're kind of
we're really confused right now, I think.
well, seeing everybody else hesitate, Adron looks at Ari, nods, and starts making his way out into the water.
Okay.
Here we go.
Sorcerer Teleri holds her hand up. And She looks at you. Where they're going, we cannot follow, I fear.
Not unless you're hiding some magic from me, Captain.
You've seen all of the magic that I possess. It just helps me strike through.
Runs in my family, but not me.
Let's hope for our sake, and the sake of the world, that we see this lot again.
And preferably soon.
Aye. See what we can do to set up shelter on the island.
Perhaps a little bit away from the coast, or at least the beach.
It may be worth it going to the Mist Cliffs.
Yeah, I look pointedly down to where the creepy, freaky, glowing starfish was pulled out of the sand. This place is giving me the creeps, Captain.
We've never encountered anything like this before. There's a reason we're creeped out. Go ahead.
Have they?
Indeed.
Have we actually started walking, like on the water yet?
Adron did.
Okay.
Adron did.
As Sorsha and Taliri are having the conversation, Torin will take his mace, draw an infinity sign, get down on one knee, place his hand in the middle of it, or like over the middle of it, say a small prayer, and then stand up and says, I have asked Mikashal to look over you as we embark on this journey. Hopefully she will help if need be.
Hilary nods. And she actually reaches out to shake your hand. Good
He
luck,
shakes
friends.
her hand.
Sorsha gives you a nod. Hopefully your goddess is amenable to helping then.
She's helped me many times, more times than I can remember. So she should help if need be.
Well then, for your sakes and for all of ours, I hope she stays with you.
He nods and turns to follow the rest.
I turn to Quirk, and I say, Quirk, I am going into a form in which I cannot speak, and Adron has already left before he can see what form I take. If he tries to attack me, can you use some sort of thing to tell him that not to attack me?
Maybe?
Even if you can't magically, just motion to him not to attack me.
Okay.
Striker actually has whisper message, rather.
I wouldn't know that.
She's used it with you before.
I don't think with me.
Yeah, she's used it in front of you.
I'm going to fly out and try to
doesn't matter.
catch up with Edron.
Yep, and I go into the water and I change into a giant octopus.
Nice.
Because a otter will not help me fight anything. So
Damn, you're on to me.
yeah.
Maybe
so
you could just look cute, and then whatever we'd have to fight would just like stop fighting altogether and leave.
It would die from cuteness.
There you
and
go.
Goodness overload damage. It's a thing in my world.
And I use it. I use my 60-foot swim speed to catch up to Adron as an octopus, and just kind of swish past him, leading me wherever I'm supposed to be led.
Okay.
Would I be able to keep the starfish in one of my tentacles so I can still feel?
As a druid, you would actually be able to essentially absorb it inside you, and you'd still be able to feel it.
I know, but I don't want to do that because then I might not know where I'm going if it's absorbed and put into a pocket dimension.
It's not put into a pocket. It's a part of your mass.
Yeah, it becomes like part of your clothing and stuff, essentially. Like if you put it into a pocket of your clothing, when you transform, it would basically be a part of you.
Okay. Then I keep it in my hand as we transform, so that can the glyphs transfer to one of my tentacles?
Actually, when you transform with it in your hand, it actually is being grasped by one of your tentacles.
Perfect. That's what I wanted in the first place. Cool. And then I just go.
Okay. The you feel a pulling from the starfish, and it draws you down deeper and deeper.
I make sure to like wave to everybody to make sure that they know to follow me with the starfish in my tentacle. Hopefully that gives Adron enough information to know that I am the octopus.
Even though it's about noon now, the highest point of the sun, it is getting very dark very rapidly under the water.
I have dark vision.
The starfish is providing some light. What speed are you swimming at, Leonis?
I'm assuming I can sense them around me, and if not, I would look back to make sure that they can still follow me and still see me from this.
The problem is Adron is
staying.
The problem is Adron is staying at the surface until right over it, so we can just essentially commando drop in.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to find it that way, so I'm just underwater currently because you didn't say anything.
Adron doesn't know that you're the one with the starfish either.
Well, that sucks. I'm following the starfish then because I think everybody's following behind me.
Okay. So Adron, are you the only one walking on top of the water?
I've flown over to him. So
Torian is walking like far behind Adron, but like behind him.
Okay. So you guys see Leonis walking into the water with this starfish in his hand, and he then transforms and disappears underneath the water.
Well, seeing him go under the water, I would then disable the ring of water walking and go ahead and follow if I see him go under the water.
Okay, so pretty soon everybody is together in a group underneath the water. As you continue swimming down, you see beneath you, I mean, standard sights of what you would expect to see. You see fish and various predatory fish, sharks, things like that. But you continue down, and as you get closer, you see a trench. And coming from the trench, you can start to see a very faint light. You continue swimming down, and as you get closer, the light starts getting brighter, and Leonis, give me a nature check.
Okay.
This light is bioluminescent.
Ooh. That's not good. Is it... So this light is coming from the trench, correct?
Correct.
Is there enough room for me to squeeze in there?
This is a large trench.
Okay, cool. I have no way of talking to them. Cool. Can I like kind of like go in there quickly do like a perception to see like what's in there?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. No.
Roll with advantage.
Yay. Better.
Okay. So you get down into the trench, and as you are entering into the trench, you look off to your right, and it occurs to you that this is almost like a city street. The light that you're seeing is from jellyfish and other like bioluminescent algae and coral and things like that that are set strategically along the trench. And as you get closer, you start to see what appear to be large fish swimming up and down the trench. They start swimming up overhead.
Can I make a stealth check?
Go ahead.
I have advantage because I am a giant octopus. It's part of my thing.
It's part of your thing, then yeah.
Underwater camouflage. I did terribly.
Okay. Here.
Actually, that would add +5 to that, not +1, because...
Okay, so that's a 14.
Yes.
No. Sorry, 8
No, 13.
and
13.
13. I added the 5 on top of the
Yeah.
official 9.
So did I.
For the time being, you appear to be hidden.
Okay.
The rest of
just-
the party,
what-
what are you doing?
So, Quirk is essentially trying to fly underwater.
Not going so well for you.
No.
Not knowing what that light ahead means, I'm just swimming towards the octopus.
Torin's doing the same. Although, actually, hang on a second. Boom. Casts it on his mace and holds it out in front of him as they swing forward.
Okay. Leonis
Yay, light.
and
Yes.
Torin, as soon as you cast light on your mace, actually, what kind of components does light have?
I don't think anything.
It has a
V and M.
V and M. So
That's
he's
a
good
verbal
because he-
component.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean,
you
can
are
make a
not
sound
able to
underwater.
cast light on your mace.
The ring of water breathing creates a bubble around a person's head. He should be able to speak.
Fair point.
I thought it was just it gave you the ability to breathe underwater. I didn't know it created a bubble.
No,
Yeah,
if
it
you
says
read
in
the
spell
description.
description that it does create a bubble around you.
Okay.
and I guess it doesn't encompass all of you, but yeah. So okay, you are able to cast light then on your mace. As soon as you do, you see, and Leonis, you see this as well. The large fish that you were seeing swimming
Yes.
are flocking towards that light source.
Oh, good.
And when they come into view, you actually see
Oh, good.
more folk. And with that,
Awesome.
that is where we're going to end for the evening.
Thought so.
Wow, no time cramp.
I want to thank you all for coming out and watching Desert Winds tonight. We hope to see you next week at the same time, same channel. Lauren, if you're still here, happy birthday, lady. You're awesome. And I want to thank at Lita Phoenix on Twitter, Jolie, for joining us tonight as our special guest, Sorsha.
You're welcome. It was fun.
Indeed. We wish you had the time to
Awesome.
join us permanently.
Oh,
Same.
I have 2 regular campaigns weekly, and I have an every other week that I'm DMing. I don't think I have time.
If things ever change.
But I might
You
be
know
up
where
for
to find
occasional
me.
pop-in. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, cool. So
All
that's
just
it for
depends
us
on
tonight,
schedule.
guys. Yep, that's it for us tonight, guys. I'm gonna get Geek and Sundry started hosting, and as always, may all your hits be crits.
Bye.